What's up, y'all, guys? Now, we're going to talk about wet dreams on this topic. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all guys be having wet dreams when you want semen retention, and that be that succubus. You know, she going to mess with you spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And in your dreams, if she can't get to you, you know, in the natural. If she can't get you in the natural, she gonna try to get to you in your dreams, you know, or she gonna try to get to you spiritually. Just because you have a wet dream, that doesn't mean that you relapse. I know a lot of you guys think, well, dang, you know, you had a wet dream, so you feel like you relapsed because you had got up in the middle of the night and you just felt so drained. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it do. And that's what it do in the natural. Like, when you release, you feel drained. But the thing is, guys, you did not relapse. You didn't. No, it's just a test. You're going to get tested. You're going to get tested, you know, in your dreams, spiritually, or in the natural. You know, on a day-to-day basis, just to see, you know, that succubus gonna see it. She gonna see if she can get you to relapse. Don't relapse in the natural, man. Don't relapse. I know a lot of y'all guys be thinking like, why is this happening to me? Why am I having these, you know, sexual dreams, these wet dreams? It's because you're trying to better yourself spiritually and in the natural. You're trying to better yourself. So if you're not, you know, having sexual intercourse in the natural realm, then your dreams, that succubus, she gonna try you in your dream. She gonna come in your dream just to test you. But just to let you guys know that just because you have a wet dream, that does not count, you know, as you relapse. You know, realistically, you guys got to stay strong because you're going to be tested. I told you guys you're going to be tested on this journey. Y'all thought I was lying. It's real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to make sure that you are aware of that. That's why I'm trying to put you guys on game. To make sure that just because you relapse in your dreams, that doesn't mean that you relapse, you know, you really relapse in the natural. Because it's gonna drain you. I've had a wet dream before. I think I had a wet dream when I was in the 5th grade. I remember I had a wet dream, or 4th. I remember one of those grades, I had a wet dream. Bro, I woke up, my boxers was wet as on the way. I had let it out. And when I had got up, I just felt so drained. This before I knew, this was way before I even knew what semen retention was. You know what I'm saying? But I had that wet dream. And bro, I was drained. I felt drained as on the way. But I didn't have no knowledge at that time. I didn't know nothing about semen retention. I did not know that doesn't count as, you know, as you relapsing. I ain't even know nothing about relapsing when I was in the 5th grade or 4th grade. I ain't know nothing about that. So just to like get this message out, like, you're going to be tested. And like, I could talk about the, you know, in the natural too. You're going to be tested by a lot of these women. You know, they might even try to rub on you, touch on you. You know what I'm saying? Because they can feel your energy. They going to try to do that, bro. You got to only, you know, take it so far. You got to, you know, back up. You got to let them, you know, you got to let them know that you can only go so far. Don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. If you believe in semen retention, then live like it. You guys gotta understand that. You know, these wet dreams be crazy. They be crazy, boy. Like you don't even want to wake up. You don't even feel like waking up when you have a wet dream. You know, because how I feel, but you guys gotta understand that you're not living that lifestyle no more. You're not down with that no more. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, when it comes down to wet dreams, a lot of times, a lot of you guys have wet dreams because you be thinking about having sexual intercourse. This is what would cause you to have a wet dream. Just to be real with y'all, I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat it. You know, you're looking at a girl on Instagram, you're looking at a girl on Facebook, or whatever you're looking at a girl at, and you just vision yourself having sex with that girl. You know, that will come into your dreams, because that's what you're thinking about. So that's what's on your conscience when you lay down in the bed and you go to sleep. You having sex with that female. This is what caused wet dreams as well. Sometimes wet dreams happen like randomly, you know what I'm saying? They just pop up. But other times too, it's because you guys be thinking about having sexual intercourse with someone. You go to bed horny, you know, thinking about having sex with a female or your ex or something like that. That's not good. Because these energy vampires, these succubus, they will come in your dream and, you know, take that energy from you. But really, they don't really take it from you. It's just a wet dream, and it does not count as a relapse. But you guys got to be careful how you thinking. Where your mind at, bro? Your mind is in the gutter. You don't go to sleep, you know, thinking about stuff that you're not supposed to be thinking about. You can dream about that stuff. Whatever you manifest, you know, you can dream about that. It'll come into your dreams or into reality. So you got to be careful about your mindset. This is why I tell you guys, when you on semen retention, keep retaining, because your mind gonna become clear. And once your mind become clear, like all that you having sex and stuff like that, that's not gonna be on your mind no more. It shouldn't be on your mind no more. The longer you retain. A lot of you dudes are, you know, having wet dreams and relapses and stuff like that because y'all keep thinking about having sex. At the beginning stages, 1 or 2 weeks, or even 1 month, y'all be thinking about having sex, trying to retain, and y'all end up relapsing or having a wet dream. She gonna come in your dream. That succubus gonna come in your dream if you thinking about having sex with a female. So you gotta be careful what you think. You know what I'm saying? On this semen retention journey. That's why this is why I want you guys to get past the beginning stages and until that's, you know, at least hit 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Get on 2 months and you're gonna see, like, so you can see the change. Y'all don't see the change in semen retention or like the benefits as, you know, much because you're not retaining that much. That 1 month, that's beginning stages, bro. That's not much. You know, it's beginning stages. You got to go longer than that. So you can get all that sex out your mind. You got to go longer than that, bro. For you to have a clear mind. Some of y'all might have a good clear mind during the first month. That's good. Y'all not probably having this problem. You know what I'm saying? They work on people differently. But if you still having this problem, you need to retain longer. Still thinking about having sexual intercourse like almost every day. You need to retain a lot longer, bro, so it can change your mind. But yeah, bro, When it come down to wet dreams, it doesn't count as a relapse. That's what make a lot of you guys lose hope in semen retention and just start going back to living that old lifestyle and relapsing and draining yourself. No, it does not count as a relapse. And I just want you guys to know that. Y'all guys keep retaining, stay disciplined, stay consistent. It's Coleman.